joining me and inviting me in to do a reading for you. I wish I could be there in person, but we all know right now we can't do that. But I'm super excited because you can't see them, but right behind the camera, I have 4 guests that are out here on the trail. They were out doing some sightseeing of Katahdin, and they're gonna stay, so I actually get to read to someone instead of just the camera. So I'm excited about that. My book here is about the Appalachian Trail. I hiked the trail in 2015 and in 2017, and I wrote a children's book that I'd like to share with you. And it is called Black Bear's Adventure, written by Emily M. Leonard, that's me, and illustrated by Lori Joy Miller and Lisa Joy Jones. So I hope you have your own book so that you can follow along. Your teacher or parent or whoever is helping you watch this video, they must have one so you can read along with me. For all the young explorers out there seeking adventure, the trail is calling you. Once there was a lady named Emily who went on a grand adventure. She was an ordinary person, much like your mom, grandmother, aunt, or maybe one of your teachers. Emily loved exercising in the outdoors to keep her body healthy and strong. So Emily decided to hike the Appalachian Trail, also called the AT. It starts in Georgia on top of Springer Mountain. Appalachian Trail hikers follow a trail marked with white blazes painted on trees and rocks as they hike north through 14 states. The trail is over 2,100 miles long, passing through forests, over mountains, across rivers, and through small towns. It ends on Maine's tallest mountain, Katahdin, which means the greatest mountain. Before Emily left on her hike, she read books about how to be safe outdoors, how to backpack, and how to live in the woods. She learned how to filter water so she wouldn't be thirsty or get sick. She read maps and guidebooks to help her find her way. Emily also learned how to keep her food safe from animals. Emily worked hard to save money to buy her gear. She bought a backpack, a tent, hiking poles, a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, and food. Everything she would take with her had to fit into her backpack. It was heavy, about 35 pounds, or as much as a small child. Finally, after several months of planning, it was time to say goodbye to family and friends. Emily and her husband Bruce climbed into their car with her gear. When the door slammed shut, Emily wanted to cry. It would be 6 months before she returned. Bruce and Emily drove 2 days from their home in Maine to Springer Mountain. When Bruce left her, Emily hugged him so tight he groaned. Then Emily was alone. She was scared. Emily had never done anything like this before. But she was also excited. She believed in herself and in her dream of hiking the AT. To make the hike more fun, Emily chose a special trail name, Black Bear. She picked this name because bears are strong and protective of their families. While she was on the trail, Black Bear would be her new name. It began raining the first night she was on the trail. It rained for 4 days and 4 nights. Black Bear's clothes dripped and she shivered when she stopped hiking. But she learned that if she kept her rain jacket on when she stopped for the day, her body heat dried her wet shirt. She also learned that moving around kept her warm. It rained often while Black Bear was on her grand adventure. It even snowed. One cold night, she forgot to sleep with her water filter, and it froze. She had to buy a new one when she stopped in the next town. The sun eventually appeared. Black Bear's favorite days were when the sun warmed her skin and the birds sang from the trees. What Black Bear didn't like was her food. She had to eat the same things almost every day. Oatmeal for breakfast, nuts and granola for lunch, and soup or pasta for supper. Whenever the trail crossed through a town, Black Bear ate at a restaurant and ordered her favorite foods: a cheeseburger with French fries and a strawberry milkshake. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. After a while, Black Bear missed her family, but on the trail, she made many friends. They became her trail family. First, there was Gilligan and his dog, Mozzie. Later, she met GQ and Walking Man.
Hello.
Whose beards grew long and bushy. Iron Maiden and Mr. Peanut Butter smiled and laughed often. Fruit Smoothie and Pumpkin Butt had cool trail names. Then there was Kilroy, who saved Black Bear from a snake. And her three best friends were Maps, Moxie, and Wynot. Black Bear met a lady whose trail name also included bear, Mama Bear. Mama Bear hiked with her three children, Strong Man, who was 9, and Spicy Guy and Little Butt, her 5-year-old twins. Along the trail, Black Bear spotted many animals. The first was a baby bear sitting next to the trail. She wanted to pick him up, but she knew that would have been dangerous to do. Wherever there is a baby bear, there is also a protective mama bear somewhere close by. Black Bear also saw other animals: deer, mice, squirrels, birds, owls, and even a mountain lion on the Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia. She was sitting next to the trail, eating a snack, when she saw a large cat climb down a tree, then disappear into the forest. Black Bear saw lots of crawling and flying critters too. Her favorite was a green insect, a shiny beetle that looked like a miniature space alien. Her least favorite were the really, really big black spiders. They were scary, but they never hurt her. Black Bear was sad sometimes because not everyone had good hiking manners. Some people left their trash behind on the trail. Whenever you go hiking, you should leave the environment just the way you found it for others to enjoy. That is called the leave no trace principle. Since the mess upset Black Bear, she would carry out the trash others left behind. Hiking in the woods, over the hills and mountains, across the streams and rivers, took Black Bear to new and exciting places. The green, peaceful forest rested her spirit. The way the rivers changed from calm to raging excited her. The mountaintop views invited her to keep going. Every day brought a new thrill. Finally, after 5 months on the trail, Black Bear entered Maine. One night as she slept in her tent, she woke to the sound of something large moving in the forest. She knew the sound. It was a moose. When she sat up, she heard it run away. In the morning, she saw the moose's tracks. They were only 5 feet from where Black Bear's head had lain. Hiking the Appalachian Trail was amazingly fun for Black Bear. She liked sleeping outside with the fresh air. Mostly she slept in her tent. Sometimes she slept in shelters. Other times she would stay at a hotel or even at nice people's homes. But Black Bear's favorite night was the night she slept under the stars on a mountain in Maine with Maps, Moxie, and Wynot. Black Bear enjoyed her journey, but after many months of hiking with a heavy pack, she was tired. She missed her family and friends. The bottoms of her feet ached, and she was always hungry. so Black Bear rested when she was tired. Her blisters slowly healed, and she treated herself to special foods in the towns she passed through. All those things made Black Bear strong. She was able to hike more than 20 miles a day. Her body wasn't the only thing that changed. So did her mind. Each time she experienced something new, even if it was something scary, like the time a giant, hairy black spider scurried over her head in a shelter, Black Bear gained confidence. By the time Black Bear neared the end of the trail, her gear and clothes were ragged and torn. The beards on the male hikers grew shaggy, and she was healthy and fit. After half a year, she was ready to go home. But first, she had one more day of hiking. Bruce and two of her friends joined her on the last day. Before them rose Katahdin. Together they followed the white blazes into the woods. Slowly, the trail grew steeper. The trees stood shorter. The rocks became larger, and the wind howled as they climbed higher and higher. Black Bear's dream was almost complete. They reached the summit. Black Bear had succeeded. She jumped with excitement and hugged Bruce so tight he gasped once again. She cried, but this time they were tears of joy. Black Bear completed the whole Appalachian Trail from Springer Mountain in Georgia through 14 states to the top of Katahdin in Maine. More than 5 million steps, over mountains, across rivers and through towns. As she looked at her family and friends, she knew it was time to go home and be Emily again. Emily will always remember her grand adventure. She is proud of herself for learning, being strong, working hard, and not quitting, even when it was tough. Doing those things helped her reach her dream. Do you have your own dream? If so, remember, when you follow it, to never, ever give up. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. And that poem was written by Eleanor Roosevelt. I hope you enjoyed my story. I do wish I could be there in person to read it to you. Maybe in the future I'll be able to. And if you did enjoy it, I also have this little activity book or a companion book to go along with it. And there's some questions in there and some fill-in and fun facts about the Appalachian Trail. That leave no trace principle, that code of ethics is in here, and there's lots of space for coloring and writing your own hiking journal. But I do hope you enjoyed this story right here at the base of Mount Katahdin as the sun's going down. And I hope to see you sometime. Thank you.